if we do have Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, that to me feels like the Mania match. The biggest match they can do with the women right now. If you do that match at Mania, and we're thinking months in advance here, what to you is the ideal finish? Is that where Becky finally wins the championship after 2 years, or does Rhea Ripley retain against Becky and then end up dropping at some point soon? Because Rhea's been champion for a year now, since Mania last year. That's a very long run. Do you think she holds on to it and ends up dropping it to someone that can, quote-unquote, benefit, or is the story with Becky getting the belt back? Do you really have a preference?
I guess it really just depends on what they have going, because I feel like Rhea is starting to tinker towards a baby face, but there really isn't any heels for her to be. It's just Nia at this point, and I mean, I feel like that's pretty much it, unless you move brands. But I think at this point, I would take the belt off her. That could kind of help demise Judgment Day, move that along a little bit further, and I feel like you said, I feel like the story isn't Becky winning the belt for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Rhea Ripley retaining would be cool, but it just begs the question, bonus question for you. Coming at Mania this year, it feels like a lot of long championship runs could be coming to an end, whether it be Gunther, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns. If you had to rank them in order of, if you had to pick 2 to change hands and 1 not to change hands, or whatever the case might be, just give me your, I don't know if we see a situation where all 3 change hands, or if it is a Mania 35 situation where Becky won the belt, Kofi won the belt, and Rollins won the belt. We all got our happy endings there. Do we get that at WrestleMania 40 as well, or does one of those people end up retaining?
Roman retains.
Oh, God, don't break my heart.
God, not. I would say, if I wanted to rank them on losing, who I want to lose the belt, I would say Roman's 1, obviously. I think that's an easy one. 2, for Gunther, I want him to lose to the right person. So,
yeah.
Rhea, if Rhea lost to Becky, then I'm fine with it. So I put that 2 in Gunther 3. I just want to make sure he loses to the right person. He had the belt for so long. I mean, you're obsessed with Chad Gable. He's not ready right now. I don't know why you'd even want him to win the belt at this point. But, I mean, depending on who he lost it to, I'd be fine with it. If he lost to Brock, I'd be like, what the fuck? But out of the rankings, I would want Roman definitely lose. Rhea, I mean, I wouldn't really even care if she kept the belt. And Gunther, just depending on who he lost it to.
And that's not even counting the other champions from SmackDown, too. I mean, even the tag team champions. Finn Balor and Priest have been champions since, I think, October. And I don't know if they're going to drop it in Mania or before then. I'm going to say before then, but they're another team that they're going to drop the championships probably on the sooner side. Logan Paul, I think, is a slam dunk to drop the championship at Mania. I don't think he holds on to it. I mean, he could lose it at the Rumble. I don't think he will. I think he loses it at Mania. And I think Io Sky will probably drop her championship at Mania, too. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know across the 2 nights of Mania if every single championship that we want to change hands, which is really every title, is going to change hands. And that's not even counting Rollins, too. I didn't include Rollins. He's the World Heavyweight Champion. And
he should lose it the most.
He should. You think so?
More than Roman Reigns. Just kidding. It's Roman, Rollins. If I had to rank them all, Roman, Rollins, Logan Paul, Priest and Balor. Who else am I thinking? Honestly, I don't even care if Io retain. I love Io. But I think the stories are with her losing to Bayley, so I don't think she would retain anyways.
Yeah.
I'd say her, Gunther, Rhea, and that's pretty. I mean, I'm not counting the fake titles that the women hold. So they just changed hands anyway. So
I think those will change hands soon with the Kabuki Warriors winning them. I would think they would win the belts before WrestleMania because they want to go into Mania with all the belts. The whole point of the story is that Damage Control has the championship gold. I mean, Io's the champion. They want Kabuki Warriors to be the tag team champions, and for Bayley to be the women's world champion. We know that's not going to happen. She's
Wait,
going to face
you don't think Dawn and Fire are going to win the belts in front of them?
I'll say this once. What the fuck do they do to deserve an opportunity of those titles? I like the team, but what do we even... They haven't even been on TV and since... I don't know if they've wrestled a single match since you saw them at that SmackDown Dark match 4 or 5 months ago.
They were on the holiday when they attacked the Kabuki Warriors.
They were on that show. They were on that show, but they have not wrestled at a SmackDown, probably since you were there for that Dark match.
Yeah, probably.
They never followed up on that either. The Holiday Havoc thing, they never followed. Oh my God, whatever. I think those belts are probably changing hands before Mania. I like Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, but I think it would make more sense if they dropped the belts before Mania, because what's the point of like Damage Control having all the power if they, I don't know, maybe they can win it on night 1 and then EO goes into champion night 2 still, like, I don't know, I'm not really sure. My point is that we have so many long reigning champions right now that I don't like. I'm under the assumption that all of these champions are going into Mania with these titles. So not all of them are going to lose their championships. I know that happened at fucking Wrestle Kingdom earlier this month. I don't think that's going to happen at WrestleMania. I think, honestly, a handful of these people will probably retain. We saw that last year. Night 2, Bianca, Gunther, and Roman. Everyone we expected to lose all fucking retained their titles. All 3 of them. So, I mean, I know like there might have been Vince involvement at that point. Vince influence, whatever. But they still won, and we could end up in a similar situation in Mania this year where a handful of the people we expect to lose, like a Gunther, like a Roman.
Who lost their belt last year?
The Usos did. They were champions.
Roman retained.
Theory retained.
Yep.
The Usos dropped their title, so we had new.
And Bianca, who Rhea Loop beat?
Charlotte, so she won the belt. Yeah.
Okay. But like you said, a decent amount of people retained, especially the people we thought were going to lose.
Yeah, the tag titles, the women's tag titles were not defended. The IC, Raw Women's, and Universal, and we only had 1 world title, all were successfully retained. Yeah, we only had 2 title changes in Mania last year, which I don't know if that's probably not a record, but there's definitely been Manias where no championships changed hands. I know that. I think Mania 27 was one of those cases, but yeah, no, I'm pretty surprised. And I think this year might be something similar where we have Rhea retain, or God forbid Roman Reigns or Rollins. The Rollins one doesn't really bother me. I know you said you wanted to lose. I do too, but we'll get to the Rollins thing in a moment. I think there's a situation there where you could have Rollins beat Punk, and it could be still interesting, I think. Although I just want his character to change. I don't know if that would change anyway if he dropped the championship, but he's in for like a kind of an overhaul at this point, I would say.
No, I agree. I think it's more I want him to lose for his character because at this point I'm over it.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed the run. People shitting on the run like, oh, his run's been awful. I don't know what the fuck you've been watching, but he's had some great matches, some good feuds. The Jinder one, not really withstanding. We'll talk about that. Not a great match, but not an awful match either.